The Premier League table is very different to how we all predicted at the start of the season, meaning the odds have changed, so it's time for the supercomputer's updated 24 to 25 table prediction. Finishing bottom of the table in 20th, the supercomputer says Southampton. Personally, I think this is a fair prediction because they've only scored 7 goals this season. They currently sit in 20th, and I can't see many other teams finishing here. Going down with Southampton is Leicester, who are predicted to finish in 19th. Leicester have shown some fight this season. They currently sit in 15th, but the supercomputer thinks they're going down. The final team predicted to get relegated is Ipswich. Some of their players have really stood out, like Jacob Greaves and Liam Delap. But personally, I agree with all the 3 teams coming up going back down to the Championship. Narrowly avoiding relegation in 17th, the supercomputer predicted Everton. They've been a bit on and off so far this season. They're always in and amongst a relegation battle, but this season, like no other, the supercomputer predicts them to survive. The supercomputer predicts Wolves to finish in 16th place. They had a really hard start to the season. This could impact how they play throughout the rest of the season. However, personally, I think they have enough Premier League experience to stay up. It's a real shocker as West Ham United are predicted to finish in 15th place. Personally, I think they have a really talented squad. They've been a bit unfortunate with some injuries with the players that they've signed. I said it at the start of the season, and it seems like the supercomputer agrees with me. Lopetegui is not the man for the job. 4 places above where they currently sit in the table, the supercomputer predicts Crystal Palace in 14th. Of course, they never actually replaced Michael Elise, so Eze has had a lot of pressure on him and a lot of roles to fill. They have a really talented squad, but it's just a shame of the amount of injuries that they've had. If they get back to their winning ways and have a good January transfer window, maybe I could see them finishing higher than here. In 13th place, the supercomputer went with Brentford. They've had a really good start to the season with Mbeumo and Wissa at their best. If they continue on this threatening form, then they could finish a lot higher. Personally, I disagree with the supercomputer. I think they'll finish in 10th. They currently sit in 12th, and the supercomputer predicts no changes for Bournemouth as they're predicted to finish in 12th. Bournemouth have been on steady form without Solanke. Semenyo's really stepped up. They've also caused quite a few upsets this season, especially to Man City and Arsenal. I think the supercomputer has this one spot on. In 11th place, the supercomputer went with Fulham. Most of Fulham's signings have really paid off so far this season. It looks really positive at Craven Cottage with Marco Silva in charge. 5 places predicted below where they currently sit in the Premier League table is Forest. I think they've shocked the world so far this season. Chris Wood has been at the centre of it all with 8 goals so far this season. You just can't stop him. I did Forest a disfavour and predicted them to get relegated, but they proved me wrong. In 9th, a team that I hate talking about, it's Brighton. I'm glad that the supercomputer predicted them to finish 9th because they could finish a lot higher than this. They are on really good form and they're playing some really good football. Just missing out on the Conference League spot in 8th, it's Aston Villa. So far they've been really consistent and haven't fallen at the weight of Champions League football like everyone's predicted. Morgan Rogers has been at his best this campaign. Personally, I think Villa will finish a lot higher. Making the conference spot, they've been a bit quiet this season, but they have been deadly. It's Newcastle United. They do have a good squad, so they could aim to win the Conference League trophy if they qualify. Predicted to finish 9 spots above where they currently are in the Premier League, it's Manchester United. They're currently not far off the relegation zone, which is obviously why they sacked Erik ten Hag and now have Ruben Amorim at the wheel. Ruben Amorim has a lot of work to do if he's trying to get them into 6th place. Just finishing shy of Champions League football, it's Spurs again. They've been really fluctuated so far this season, losing to Palace then beating Villa. So I'm not completely sure where they're going to finish this season. Enzo Maresca's Blues are predicted to finish in 4th, meaning they'll make Champions League football. They've been really consistent, Maresca has made it work and they have a really big squad. Personally, so far they've been a joy to watch. No changes in the order at the top of the table as Arsenal are predicted to finish in 3rd. Currently they've been under quite a bit of pressure and they've dropped quite a few points. Arsenal are currently 9 points off 1st place in the league. I don't see them catching up, so I agree with the supercomputer. It's sensational as the supercomputer predicts Man City to finally be dethroned. They've really suffered with the loss of Rodri and De Bruyne. Haaland hasn't been as deadly as usual this season, so take your 2nd place and be relegated to the Championship with your 115 charges. That means that Arne Slot's Liverpool are predicted to win the league. So far they've been really consistent, and if they were to win it, well deserved. I think I had my doubts when Arne Slot took over from Jurgen Klopp, but I was really wrong. He's been such a good manager, so consistent for Liverpool. He's really getting the best out of all his players. For an example, Curtis Jones. Here is the supercomputer's final predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments.